I'm Sucheta Singh and you're watching Go Island on Shaw TV. On today's show, a local farm cuts back as animals attack. Reading while naked and socially conscious hair. All that and more coming up on Go Island. What would it be like to be in the shoes of someone who doesn't have a home and might not be able to afford heat? Well, I'm joined by Andrew and Williams. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
This is a question you've asked, and you're putting on this event on December 7th.
Right.
To turn off your heat for 24 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So
why do it?
Why do it? Well, the idea is for people to not just sympathize, but to empathize with what it's like for someone who may be without heat or without a home. We think that people are more likely to take an interest in the issue if they get just a sliver of what it's like. And of course, you won't know what it's like to be homeless.
Exactly.
But you will know what it's like to be cold. But you can imagine if you're homeless, you're cold, you're wet. It's not just for 24 hours. And it's a real challenge.
Exactly.
It goes beyond just those who we might think of as being outside. Because there are a lot of people who have to make the choice between heating their home and buying groceries, or heating their home and paying rent. And so that is the kind of individual we want people to just have an extra thought about. So,
and now people might out there think that, oh well, you know, you can go to a shelter at nighttime for these homeless people, but
yes. So last year, between the months of or November and March, we had about 1,500 people turned away from shelters in Greater Victoria. The average temperature during that time period is between 3 and 6 degrees. Is sort of the mean temperature in Greater Victoria in that period. And so there was a lot of people who were outside and cold, and 3 to 6 degrees. It's not freezing, but data shows that hypothermia when people are wet can set in as high a temperature as 10 degrees. So it is not a pretty scene for many people.
Exactly. So you're asking people to take the pledge and just turn off the heat. 24 hours is all you're asking.
24 hours is all we're asking, and so you'll get a little understanding, and it's interesting. I've got people who are saying, yeah, I'll turn my heat off, but I think I'll do my Christmas baking that day, or I will turn my heat off, but can I light a fire? So people are already thinking about it, and they're already getting the message of, oh my God, I'm going to be cold. And that's exactly what we want, is we want people to be thinking that way and understanding what it's like.
It's only 24 hours.
It's only 24 hours. It's December the 7th. And people, you can actually take a pledge to do it. We're not asking for money. You can go to turnyourheatoff.ca and you can find instructions there on how to take the pledge. It'll be a Facebook pledge, and so your social media partners will all know what you're up to. I'm sure you will take it as soon as you get back to the office. Yes. And we also have a place on the website if people get cold and really start to wonder what it's like. There's a list of our partners and agencies where you can donate some warm weather items, or cold weather items rather, if you're. What's
the one item that is always needed?
I will say 3.
Really, 3? Okay.
3. I'll say gloves, jackets, and socks.
Okay. Yeah.
Those would be. I think if you're going to do a top 3, that would be it. Gloves, jackets, and socks. Yeah. So. All
right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. All right. It's been a fixture on the South Island for years. Gailey's Farm has been growing food and growing the business since the 1930s. But as Nikki Unishin reports, the farm is now facing some cutbacks. For many of us, it's our worst nightmare, appearing naked in front of a live audience. But a Victoria burlesque dancer is proudly performing at Naked Girls Reading. Dan Kahn checks it out. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, socially conscious hair for you. Welcome back to Go Island. Today we are talking to the Greater Victoria Coalition to End Homelessness. We were talking to Andrew Williams at the beginning of the show to talk a little bit about a pledge that they're asking you to make to turn off your heat for 24 hours on December 7th. The address is on your screen. You go online, you make a pledge on social media to say you'll turn off your heat for 24 hours to get a sense of what it's like to be out on the street or not to be able to afford heat. So although it's only for 24 hours, you only get a little feeling of what it's like. So the address is on your screen. You can go online and make that pledge. Our next story is about a salon in Duncan that's taking the vegan and cruelty-free route by offering products that are ethical and fit into the lifestyle in Duncan's Garage Centre. Terry Church has our story. A quick break now. When we come back, This Week in BC with Sean Leslie.
For Christmas, Premier Christy Clark is looking for a miracle, not on 34th Street, but on Government Street.
Welcome back to Go Island. With Christmas just around the corner, what should Santa be bringing our BC politicians this year? Sean Leslie asks that question in this week's This Week in BC. That's all the time we have on today's show. Thanks to Andrew and Williams and the Greater Victoria Coalition to End Homelessness. Don't forget, they do have the campaign this Friday, December the 7th. For 24 hours, you turn off your heat, just to step into the shoes of someone who might not have heat or might be out on the streets and homeless. I know you're not really going to get the full picture, but it's something that you can do to kind of step into their shoes. And the website is turnyourheatoff.ca. You can make your pledge on social media, Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget, we are on Twitter, we are Go Island South. Facebook, we are Go Island South, and you can email us your stories, suggestions, ideas, comments, anything you want. Go_Island South at shaw.ca, and we will see you next time.